Hi everybody, I'm Alan Warren. They call me the RV Wingman. Thank you for being here today. Have you ever noticed that when a big story is about to break, a story that might really expose someone, the first thing that person does is what? They try and get ahead of it. They don't really deny everything, not exactly. They may just call it a hit piece. They go after the journalist. They post vague stuff online talking about agenda-driven reporting or how that's not the full story. And that is what Marcus Lemonis is doing right now. Yeah, this guy right here. He's the current CEO of Camping World, and most RVers have heard a lot about Camping World from me, but aside from that, Marcus is the guy from the TV show called The Prophet, the reality show where he rescued small businesses. That was, I believe, the launching pad for him that, stroked his ego, made him sort of a household celebrity. He built his brand as the FIXER, the hero. But if you talk to the people he fixed, you'll hear a very different story, one that's not heard by the masses. So, where's this going, Wingman? Well, stick with me. Now, Marcus is launching a brand new TV show on Fox Network called The FIXER. That's right, The FIXER on Fox Network. And that's big time, folks. It really is. It is big. It's scheduled to debut on Friday, July the 18th, right here. You see that? But you know what? Just days before this new show debuts, Business Insider is apparently set to release an investigative story. Yeah, a real investigative story on Marcus Lemonis, and you won't believe this. But Marcus is already trying to frame it as an attack, a hit piece. So is this a big deal? I think so. Very much a big deal. Now, some of you may not be familiar with Business Insider. It is not the Wall Street Journal, no it's not, but it's no tabloid either. It is a major online publication backed by a big media company out of Europe. It is widely read, especially among younger professionals from 25 to 54 years old. That's Business Insider's sweet spot. Entrepreneurs and college grads, investors, folks who, think they're pretty smart. They probably are. But they probably don't know diddly about buying an RV. And that is what makes this story important. Because that audience, those 25 to 54-year-olds, that's exactly who Marcus and Camping World have been targeting for years. They paint RVing as fun, spontaneous, affordable. And it can be. It can be for some. But I'm getting ahead of myself. How do I know Marcus is worried? Well, just stick with me. Going back to Business Insider, what these first-time buyers don't know is how fast that RV dream can turn into a nightmare. And when those folks, those readers, those young people start smelling the stench that RV buyers have been warning about for more than a decade, it just could be the beginning of a big shift for Marcus. I have no idea what's in the Business Insider story, but it must be really good. And how do I know that? Because how Marcus is reacting to it. Here's a post he made on his X account on July the 1st. By the way, before I show it to you, Marcus has almost 700,000 followers on X. I would say many of them are in the 25 to 54 demographic, the same ones as are going to be reading the Business Insider story. Let's take a quick look and see exactly what the FIXER is saying. There's Marcus right here. It says, "It's come to my attention that Business Insider and Dakin Campbell are doing a hit piece on me." I told you, hit piece. Hit piece on me and the Prophet. When I heard about 2 months ago, I confronted the reporter and reminded him that while I respect the media, any untruth would result in litigation. He is being fed information from a company that sued me and lost not only the case, but will be held accountable from a personal guarantee. Normally, any PR expert would say, "Be quiet, don't engage," but that's not going to happen here. Last Friday, the reporter called to interrogate me on one-sided accusations. Interrogated? Really? Asking questions is an interrogation? You're interrogating me. I'm a victim. I'm so innocent. I digress. Accusations. To be clear, 3 companies and I went to litigation. In every case, we won. Many may remember articles done by one reporter years ago, same reporter, 2 articles, different outlets. You can Google it. As a reminder, the show stated in 2013, I think it's started in 2013 and ended in 2020. His comments were that many companies claimed, but wouldn't name them, that their lives were destroyed and that I drained the company's money to fix up their places, etc. What's ironic is that never once did I receive any money of any kind other than in a very limited number of cases recovered my money, whatever that is. The timing of this, as the reporter stated, was on the heels of our new Fox TV show coming out, The FIXER. He asked if Fox was aware of all of this. What was the new show about? What was the premise? As many know, I have had many blessings in business to make money. Making money of any small business I've ever worked with didn't happen. His statement of me profiting by taking advantage of businesses and taking things from them is not only incorrect but insulting. In the middle of the call, I told him I was aware of one business he called because they called me immediately, telling me that he was digging for information and the questions were not only slanted, but tone was odd. I have no regrets or hard feelings towards any business, but clearly hold high on my list many. My relationships with many of them still continues today, and you will see a couple on the new show. I encourage you to do your own research. Anyone that says I encourage you to do your own research, they're saying a good thing. I say it all the time too, but most people don't do it. They just don't. Yeah, I'll check it out. Most people don't do the research. I'm asking you, please, please do your own research. So, do you see what I see? He's worried. I think he is, and he should be. Because when somebody starts spinning a story, before the story even drops, that usually means the story has teeth. It's kind of like a hand grenade. You pull the pin on it, and it's going to be thrown right around the debut of his TV show. If I was Marcus, I'd be worried too. For his fans, and he does have a legion of fans, he really does, who truly believe in his charm, his generosity, his uncanny ability to fix things. But I think that those fans liken Marcus and thinking that all those things he is in real life would be like me thinking, I don't know, Chuck Norris, Walker, the Texas Ranger, goes around busting heads and saving people in real life. It ain't real. And with Marcus, it's just an image that his fans have fallen for. A well-crafted image, but I believe a fake image. But again, that is my opinion. Going back to his post on X, he has got to be feeling nervous. Don't you think? I mean, do you see what I'm talking about with Marcus? It's a pattern, straight from the playbook. You get ahead of the fallout, you control the narrative, you minimize the damage, and then you disparage the other party. You act like you're simply a victim. What are they doing to me? And I think that is exactly what Marcus Lemonis is trying to do right now. And for me, this is where it gets personal. Over the years, I have heard countless stories of victims of predatory sales tactics by Camping World. I've seen Marcus. I've seen him say, if you're not happy, I'm not happy. And tens of thousands of people believe it. They believe in that hero, that fixer image that the media have created. But I know a different story. I know a real story. I hear from real people every day who have been ruined, buried in forever debt, and totally disgusted in Marcus Lemonis and in Camping World. And many are now disgusted with camping and RVing altogether. And that is what really makes me angry. What Camping World does, what they do when they do make things right, they're forced to do things and make them right, it seems like. But they almost always make the people sign a non-disclosure agreement. Why? It keeps everybody quiet. Shh. It's not that I hate Camping World. I don't. It's that I hate the way they look at you, me, and countless Americans. They look at us as future customers that are gullible and trusting ignoramuses, ups. That's what we are referred to by people like this. We're the ups when we walk in the door. And they will do everything they can, like a magician does, to distract you from knowing the truth. That's why they will wear you down in the finance office. They will skim over areas and minimize areas where you should slow down and truly understand and read. Understand what you are signing. And they're masters at doing it. They have perfected the technique like a great magician. Truly makes you believe that they're performing magic. It ain't magic at Camping World. It is a trick. A well-constructed, beautiful scheme designed to maximize the profit for them and minimize the pushback or the questions from you. And that's exactly why shady RV dealers hate it when buyers start asking questions. They want you to smile, to nod, just go along with them. Sign right here in the dotted line. They don't want you to dig. They don't want you to slow down. They don't want you to read the paperwork. Because when you do, you will start thinking, maybe like an investigative reporter, like the one probably from Business Insider who is investigating Marcus. And you see what they don't want you to see. So here's some wingman advice. If you're thinking of buying from Camping World or any RV dealer, first, don't do it unless you're ready, fully ready to be responsible for every possible problem that might arise, especially problems that may arise after the sale. Second, take your time. Read everything. Get clarity. You may just save yourself thousands of dollars in junk fees and unnecessary add-ons and headaches without having to go and hire an attorney. So I am definitely looking forward to the Business Insider story. And maybe, just maybe, this will be the spark that finally wakes up the attorneys general all across the country. Because the mountain of complaints, lawsuits, and shattered RV dreams is way too big to ignore. And that's how I see it. As always, I will keep you posted on my thoughts around this virtual campfire. But for now, do you think Marcus should be worried? Do you think that this story could finally open the floodgates? I hope that you will leave a comment down below. And if you would like to access some free resources where I can tell you some things to avoid and connect you with people that you can trust, scan the QR code you see here on the screen. If you can't scan the code, you'll find the link in the description down below. Click on it. This is free information, and whether you buy through one of the dealers that I recommend or not, I promise you is helpful, save you a lot of headaches. Thank you so much for watching today. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of today's video. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. Bye-bye, everybody.